Today, my search for a project management tool and a review of Springpad, the tool I've decided will help me to get things done. Welcome to the Do Something Today podcast. This is the podcast that encourages you to take the next steps forward toward development and toward your goals. I'm David Grant, and I'm glad you're checking this out. It's really good to be able to do this. I feel like we've gotten past kind of that introductory phase, and now we can really start helping one another and encouraging each other forward. So for me personally, here's my challenge. I use a pretty great tool to manage my to-dos and my projects for work, but I need to have a different space to manage my own life. I really want those lines to be clear. I don't want to be reminded by what I need to do for work when I'm working on projects for myself and my personal time. So I really need something completely separate. So what about the tools built into my computer? Well, I'm in the Apple environment, and the tools are pretty similar between devices as far as kind of task management, general to-dos, and calendars and whatnot. For my computer, I love reminders. When it comes to how it syncs with my devices, how the simple way I can create new tasks by speaking them to Siri, or the best thing of all, the location-based reminders. How cool is it that I can just remind my phone to tell me, take out the trash when I get home, and faithfully it lets me know it's time to bag it up and put it out the moment I drive into the driveway. But I think that calling Apple's app Reminders is absolutely the right name for the app. It's not meant to be a project management tool. So for example, Apple's Mail, it used to have a simple way to create a task from an email, but that's been removed, and you can still do it by dragging the email into the Reminders app or dropping it onto the icon in the dock, but it's pretty limited. So like the link in the reminder does not open the actual email on any of my devices outside of my computer. So after the reminders are synced, I can only actually accomplish the task from my computer. And then, organizing folders and additional content types, it just gets more confusing because that's not what the app was meant to do. It does what it does very well, but it's just limited to what it does. And a couple of years ago, I got used to this product that was in the Google app marketplace called ManyMoon. And I loved this app. It wasn't quite, syncing, but not many options were at the time. But what I loved most was that it let me organize everything, no matter what content, and it allowed me to invite people to join me in managing a project, even if they were outside of my Google app environment. And it had a number of additional features, like a bit of a social feel within the app to keep everyone involved on a project and up to speed on any developments. And unfortunately, ManyMoon went the way of the dodo, and a new alternative was introduced called Do.com. Do.com lacked a few features, but added a very simple contact management solution along with tracking some financial goals for leads. And it was kind of like halfway entering into the full professional CRM space. The mobile app was amazing, totally hooked. It's exactly what I was looking for. You could even have different areas, so you could have your personal space and your workspace and never have them mingle. And just like ManyMoon, it offered I could easily create a task by sending an email to do.com, and it would pull that email in, create it as a task. So, empty inbox, here I come. It was fantastic. And do.com shut down as well, and what do? So I went back and tried the built-in options, and I just couldn't do what I wanted to do. I had used Evernote, which is really a leading tool for note-taking, but I realized when I was sitting with my Wi-Fi only iPad in an airport that I could no longer edit my notes without a connection unless I'm paying for their services. Well, the cheapskate that I am very quickly removed the app and moved on. And in addition, Evernote lacks task management, so I'd still need to continue working in a couple different worlds. And I haven't tried it, but it does look like Evernote does offer some amount of integration with some task management services. But I still didn't want to add service fees. And, come on, it's not all about me being a cheapskate. I already pay for a number of regular services, and it just didn't feel important enough to me. So what does Do.com recommend? They recommend you check out something called Productive by Jive. I'll have the link below, PRODC or DUCTEEV. So since I can't spell, you can check out the link. And it's a really great looking app. Great syncing and collaboration options, and I definitely recommend it if you're looking for a more robust task management tool. But I felt like it just didn't have what I needed on the content side, so I'd grown used to attaching files and storing files I needed, and I needed something more than what Productive could offer. So I looked and I stumbled upon a unique tool that, at first glance, honestly did not look like what I was looking for. In fact, after I signed up and downloaded the iOS app, I even removed it from my devices and kept looking but I eventually came back. So check out Springpad, springpad.com. Springpad, it kind of reminds me of Pinterest at first. And that really turned me off until I really understood what that meant. So Pinterest gives you boards to manage your individual posts, and Springpad divides your various projects and areas of your life into these notebooks. And then within each notebook, you can organize any kind of media and even further organize them by placing them in multiple notebooks or by utilizing tags, which is very similar to other robust options like Evernote. Springpad does a really great job of pulling in any kind of content you bring and even displaying it in a way that looks really great. And you can customize the look of each notebook, and then the unique items that are part of that notebook, they kind of show through and give you a little bit of a sneak peek at the items that are inside the binding of the notebook. So pretty soon you have a screen full of colorful notebooks helping you and your life be organized and still feel creative and fun. And my screen isn't that full yet, but I'm pretty excited about it. I'll link to a movie that you can check out to see how it all works. And you can create unique to-do lists and for any particular project, making it really easy to kind of separate your different projects that you're working on. I've not tried the collaboration part of it yet, but it looks like you can invite individuals to particular projects, which will make it really easy if I want to use it for work, since I often need to work with volunteers and give them access to tools that might not be available from my organizational environment. But yeah, there's always Google Docs, but when it comes to managing the tasks in a helpful way, I get stuck with a spreadsheet. And yeah, I need something different than that, and something more designed for that purpose. So finally, another area I haven't really pursued yet for Springpad is the social component. You can look for others who are using the tool and follow their public notebooks and benefit from the research of others. And if I chose to make my notebooks public, people can follow and see me grow with a particular project. And I don't really care to push a whole lot of different social platforms, but it's a really cool idea. I think it's worth investigating. I could maybe see a great way for like a physical trainer to share workout programs, or maybe a musician to share some practice tools and strategies. And if it were to take off, I think it could be a really great tool. Anyway, this is what I'm using, and my notebook is public for the project Murder a Love Story. I don't know what I'm talking about. Check out last week's episode where I announce and explain what I'm up to, and I'm curious to know what tools you use to keep yourself organized on your personal projects. Share those in the comments at davidgrant.me. Follow me on Twitter, and maybe there's a better option I should be using. Maybe Springpad is the right way for you to move forward with your creative projects. That's it for today. Next week, I'm moving on to talk about the first steps in scoring Murder a Love Story, thinking through scoring in general and what music accomplishes in a film, then thinking about what I need to communicate to support this specific story. Don't forget to check out Murder a Love Story, the whole project, in the link below. And until then, hey, thanks for coming, but you, sitting right there, you've been wanting to finish that project that you've been working on. Why not go ahead and work on it right now? I'd love to hear about what you've been able to accomplish. Let me know. If you can encourage others to take action, then maybe we can share it here in a future episode. But for now, I have stuff to do, so I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.